certainly. It's always great to win. As I told our team in the locker room after the game, winning's hard. Winning's hard, and it takes a total team effort from Sunday all the way through Saturday. I mean, Saturday is where we see the result. But the way this team has worked, the way that they have really done a great job of staying humble and going out and executing. I think they've been playing at a really high level together as a team. I told them this was kind of a trap game. This was a team that we had beat in game one. We're playing on the road, playing an early game. We got to kind of bring our own energy. It had a chance to be really flat. And I thought they came out, in the first quarter. Our defense was out there the whole first quarter. I think there was a minute to go, and we had 3 offensive plays with a minute to go in the first quarter. I think we were minus yards maybe at the end of the first quarter. I'd have to go back and look at those stats, but pretty close to it. And yet, nobody flinched. Nobody flinched. Nobody panicked. Nobody hit the panic button. I thought they were very poised on the sideline, and I thought they did a really nice job of working together and doing the things they had to do to win the football game. Proud that defensively we did a really good job of keeping them out of the end zone for the most part, except there at the end. I think our defense, I believe this is the first game we've given up over 20 points. I think our defense has done a really nice job, and I thought our offense started clicking, and I thought Adrian really did a nice job of seeing the field, keeping his eyes up and seeing the field. I thought our offensive line did a phenomenal job of protecting. They gave him a lot of time to stand back there and not be as concerned with the rush, but be able to keep his eyes downfield. This is a couple weeks in a row with a no-turnover game where our defense created 3 today. I thought that was huge. I've got great respect for John DeFilippo. The job that he does. I think his team is competing their tail off. We really struggled running the ball today, which is what forced us into more throws. I believe this may be the first game this year. Again, I'd have to look at that, but where our passes outnumbered our runs. Because we were struggling running the ball and getting anything consistently going, and so we threw the ball much more than we ran it today. I think it was more like 35-20 type of deal in this game. So real testament to the players, their attitude, their work ethic, just their focus, their attention. It's a long season. We're now 6 games into it. 6-0, which is quite an accomplishment. We still got a pretty strong test ahead of us with the 4 teams that we have remaining. I believe 3 of them have a winning record, so we've still got a pretty tough slate going ahead of us. We just got to keep banging that rock, and as we've said, we don't want to be result-oriented. We want to make sure that we are going to be as good as we can be. We got to keep getting better. We got to keep improving fundamentally, and I think we're getting better in a lot of areas. So we'll go back to the drawing board and see what we can do to get ready, kind of lick our wounds. We had some pretty big injuries tonight, and with the limited rosters, that's something that we're definitely going to have to look at moving forward. But proud of our players. Great to see our fans out there. Great to see them over there. Heard them during the course of the game, even playing on the road, being this close to Birmingham. It was nice to hear some friendly banter up in the stands today.
Questions? Coach Holtz, 39 points, the most you guys have scored this season. 22 of those points came in the second quarter alone. Can you talk about that dominant second quarter, and also, do you feel like this is the best you've seen this team this year?
I don't know. Go ahead. You answer that. Is this the best you think this team has been?
Hard to say. I think we keep getting better. So you might be right, but I hope next week we're even better. I think that's a goal of our team, and it's a growth mindset. I think, as Coach said, we're not result-oriented. So, yeah, maybe if you look at the stat sheet, but in terms of how we view ourselves, there's a lot we can get better with.
I think one of the things that's making us better is some guys that are maybe new to the offense are really stepping in and doing some big things. We've heard very little from Kevin Austin so far this year, and yet he steps in today, has a huge play down the sideline, 4 catches, 100 yards. Still believe we have way too many drops, you know what I mean? Some things that we can work on and we can get better on, but we're playing well together as a team. I certainly wouldn't have said that at the end of the first quarter. You know what I mean? But I also think, they had 2 long drives and controlled the ball. Real testament to our defense. They figured it out. They made some adjustments. We're able to get off the field a little bit quicker and give our offense the ball a couple more times. So even though we didn't score in the first quarter, we had plenty of opportunities in the second because our defense kept getting off the field. And offensively, we were able to hit some big plays and put some yards up. Because we just threw the ball more. What they did, They're big and they're strong up front. They have a really good defensive front against the run. And what they tried to do in this game compared to the first game, they tried to walk up and press us and play a lot more man coverage and take the air out of the passing game, and that was able to really free up some big plays for us. So we weren't as consistent as I wanted to be with some long drives, but fortunately our defense gave us the ball back, and we were able to hit on some big plays. And I thought, Adrian threw some great deep balls, and some guys went and made some great catches down the field.
Coach, you said as winning is hard, which there's no doubt it is, although you guys seem to be making it look easy and going on 3 years now. How do you battle complacency, making sure that this team comes ready to play every single week?
It's something that we talked about at the beginning of the year. In order for us to get to where we want to be, and the 3 stages a championship team goes through, one is they have to learn how to compete. They've got to come together, give up their individualism, and learn how to compete together as a team, because everybody in this league has talent. And I think they've done a great job of that. The egos are checked at the door. There's a lot of guys could get upset. I'm not getting mine. I'm not playing. Yet they're involved. They're on the sideline. They're engaged. I think they've done that. The second one is you got to learn how to win, and just not turning the ball over, not giving up big plays. I mean, kind of what we're doing together as a team. We have 7 areas that we try and follow, and I think they've learned how to win. But I think the third and the hardest step that this team has done a really good job of, to be a championship level team, you got to learn how to handle winning. And there's a lot that goes with that, and complacency is one of the number one things. We live in a society today where, with success on Twitter and social media, everybody wants to talk about, look at what he did, and look at how good these guys are. I watched the game last week, and all anybody talked about in the St. Louis game was the May 11th matchup between St. Louis and Birmingham, and can they play with them, and that's the luxury that everybody else has. We call it the circus that's going on outside the lines, and we can't get involved in the circus. We get involved in it on Saturday night and Sunday. When our game's over, we can look at the big picture. But come Sunday, when we have our meeting, put this film to bed, it's time to get started, hit the reset button, and go to work on Monday. And this team has done a great job of doing that.
Along that, Adrian, for you, like coaches talk about checking egos at the door. You start the year, you're in and out in the game day. Then you make a start, you have a great performance against Memphis there. The next week, you're not starting. Now you're back in there. 2 games against Memphis, you've been over 300 yards in both of them. What has been your mentality through this as you're in a battle for the job? And as he said, you got to kind of check the ego at the door, but you continue to go out there and perform.
Yeah, well, for me, I'm very fortunate to continue to play this game, and I think when you come to it from a standpoint of gratitude, I'm thankful to get this opportunity and my end goal, which is getting to the NFL. And I'm fortunate that we have a great quarterback room, Jamar Smith, Matt Corral. We all share similar goals, and we understand it's tough. A lot of times only one guy can play, but we're all helping each other get to that end goal. We all want to win. We all want to enjoy this experience. So some things you can control, some things you can't. And for me, one of those things is I can come to the field, come to the facility with gratitude, and we can make sure that we're getting better. So those are the things I focus on.
Your end goal wasn't to play for me?
End goal?
Jeez, I thought your end goal was to play for me.
I enjoy it, though. I enjoy it, Coach.
Won the job and it's yours now?
I'm not sure, and yeah, that's all up to this guy right here. And if he decides next week that it's not me going out there, that's something out of my control. What I can control is how I show up on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and prep, and it's not in my hands. And I think we can get deep, like we were talking about in the golf cart. We can have a deep philosophical conversation right now, but yeah, just control what you can, and that's really what I stick to.
Martinez, can you talk about your play today? You had 10 different players for your team catch passes from you. It seems like you were just having your way. If they were giving you 5, you was taking 5. If they was giving you 10, you would take that 10. Just talk about your performance today.
Yeah, well, I appreciate it, and I still see 13 incompletions on the stat sheet, so there's a reason for that, and there's some tape that we can learn from. But you mentioned 10 different guys. That means I can go to sleep on the plane feeling all right. I don't got to look over my shoulder and be like, man, I didn't get him the ball at all. Feel bad about that. So can go to bed for tonight, feeling good about it, and restart next week.
I think one of the things Adrian's doing a really good job of is taking what the defense has given us. We had these conversations earlier in the season where maybe we were centered on one player, like I'm trying to throw the ball to him. But I think he's done a really nice job of saying, okay, let's see where the safety is. If he's on the side of the guy I want to go to, I got to go away from the safety. And let's not force the issue. We have good players. You know, I mean, we have Kevin Austin's a good player. I mean, I look at Victor Benjamin's a good player. Gary Jennings is a good player. We got some guys that, along with Deion Kane, you know what I mean? We got some guys playing really well. We just can't get tied in. I want to throw it to him. We have some throws that are him throws, but for the most part, that's why I said at the very beginning, I thought he did a great job of dropping back, taking what the defense gave him, read the field, and distributed the ball, and has confidence in many receivers that are out there playing. Thought he did a really nice job today.
Thank you both. Wrap it up.
Thank y'all.
Appreciate it.
Thank you very much. God, I'm really hurt. The NFL's your end goal. It's not playing for me. I'm really hurt. You said the NFL was